Hey, yo, what is going on with it? Once again, bros, women, bronies, and package social talking Nikki Commodities out there. This is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Nintendo Sony Free 2011, aka Manny Wolverine. Of course, you guys are wrestling interest and interest towards this channel. And before I do get this video started, just really quick, I was either going to decide to do the Crash Bandicoot, like, reaction review segment to that, but that shit can fucking wait, because this is a billion times more fucking monumental, especially for a lot of old school gamers out there like myself. Even though, granted, this is even older than the United States version of Nintendo, because even though, granted, like, that one, the original Nintendo of Japan, like, gaming company was around since, I know it sounds really crazy and fan fiction-y of me to say, but I think it was like 1895 or 1898 when it was around, and at that time they only made, like, little, like, Hot Wheels toys, and I think Magic cards, Hot Wheels toys, and fucking, I don't know, since technology was very primitive at that time. I know it's kind of primitive nowadays, but it's a little bit more advanced than it was at that time. It was 100 and almost 20 years ago at that time. And it's way before I was existing. Most probably my great-great-great-grandparents were still alive at that time. It's pretty crazy to know that Nintendo Japan has been around for that long, because I think it was like 1979 or 1980 or something, or 85 is when the original Nintendo home console was created. But it wasn't until like much later, until I was a 90s kid, when I was finally able to own my first official video game console, was the Super Nintendo, back in I was like 6-7 years old, in the mid-late 90s when I was a kid at the time. But without further ado, let's begin. I was going to do reaction review segments to the brand new Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy videos, but commercials that came out about a couple days ago, but this is a shit ton more important. So let's begin. And sadly, the only two video games I've ever played for the original Atari's system is one of my older cousins, or I think one of my uncles had it originally a long ass time ago, and holy fucking hell, man. The only two ones I remember playing was the original Centipede game and Defender, and that's it. I never, unfortunately, sadly, never got a chance to play any of the other ones, because I don't know if I forgot how it was. Either my uncle got it stolen from him when he got his house robbed, unfortunately. This is years ago, before I was born. And then it was either that or I forgot how the story went. Because I was only a 5-6-year-old little kid. I was barely even comprehending life. And excuse me for like the bad shaving beard or whatever. I didn't get a chance to shave this morning, and I still had to go to work too, so I was almost late for that time. So fuck me. Other than that, this is some super huge ass monumental. Shout out to the two people that told me about this, which is a very big PokeTuber, almost got about 200,000 plus subscribers. And he does a lot of Splatoon and a lot of Nintendo and Sony video gaming as well. And I know he's a big Star Wars fan like I am. And I'm talking about Mr. Skull Sugar TCG. Shout out to him and Proto Mario for letting me know about this, because holy fucking hell, it is a very ginormous, very big piece of history, of video gaming history. This is older than me. I think it came out 12, 15 years before I was even born. I think it was like 1975 or 76, because I wasn't born until like 1989. So, holy fuck. Whew. And like, the fucking possibilities are just fucking endless right now. Oh my god. You can tell I'm shaking a little bit right now, because I don't know how in the fuck Atari's going to perform nowadays with a lot of these cutting edge technologies with high end graphics and a lot of other stuff. How they're going to compete with Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, I have no fucking idea. Honestly, to be extremely honest, they were ahead of its time, to be honest. Even though, granted, they were only like 16-bit pixelations of like video gaming at that time, and I think they had this old school channel changer clicker thing or whatever that they had to use in order to like make the characters move. And I remember they had another one. I think in the early mid-90s, Atari was sort of relevant a little bit before it unfortunately went out of business, and Nintendo pretty much kicked the crap out of them, and they became number one afterwards. You know, granted, I still love the crap out of Nintendo, but unfortunately, it's a little bit of a dark history for my younger millennials out there that probably don't even know what the name of Atari even is, to be extremely honest. I only got like about 5 minutes left of sunlight, so I gotta make this video really quick. And the only two articles I found were from The Verge, IGN, actually three of them. That one, IGN, and I think GameSpot, but there's a really old one from 2011. I'm looking for one that was just out a few weeks ago, like less than 2 weeks ago of this year, 2017. So, yeah, the only one I could find that was almost as good enough was Forbes.com. Even though, granted, they only give a shit about money and billionaires and politics, which that shit makes my blood boil. It really pisses me the fuck off, and I really hate fucking politics, because it's bullshit and it's fucking racist crap or whatever, and I don't really give a fuck about. That's why politics and political bullshit and government stabilities and all that other crap is just, irked me the wrong way. It made me want to vomit every time I heard that goddamn fucking Forsaken word. But unfortunately, I didn't have a choice. So I'm only going to read half of the article session. Links in the description box down below, card box on the side. If any people want to watch it with me, watch it with me. There's a 22-second video on it too. So just to let you know, I'm not bullshitting or anything. There it goes. And here it goes. The person that I gotta give credit where credit's due. Shout out to the person that created this article, which is from Mitch Wallens. So shout out to him. And here we go. So it says yesterday, and this was from when was the date? June 19th. This is the 25th already. So I'm almost like a couple days late on this news. So it's the 25th. So it's a Sunday while I'm doing this, and I was like last week Tuesday or Wednesday. So here it goes. So it says why Atari's new console could be just what the gaming industry needs. Yesterday, I reported on a recent GamesBeat interview with the Atari CEO, and I'm probably going to butcher this man's last name, Frederick Chanassis. Chances? I think this Chanassis or Chanansis? I think it's Chinas. A lot of people have been saying it Chinas. And I'm not trying to be racist against people in China or anything like that, or Asians. It's just a lot of people have been saying it that way, but I think it says Chanasis, or Chanisis, however you pronounce his name. Let's keep it going. So it says Fred Chanisis, a chat that confirmed the existence of an upcoming Atari console. This new game came out as a bit of a surprise since that break speculation has been running wild. Forbes' own Paul Tassi posted an interesting take on the whole new situation, and honestly, I think that makes a great point. The market is indeed full, and introducing a brand new platform, especially the one potentially poised to take on those of the industry's giants like Sony and Microsoft, may be an exercise in overzealously fertility. There we go. All right. Exercise in overzealousy in fertility. They use a lot of big ass fancy words I can't keep up with in scientific terms. I don't know. And yet I can't sit still. So break out the one-button joysticks and dusty old combat cartridges. We're going to play devil's advocate. Even with everything seemingly stacked against such a machine, and there's a lot to believe in me, whatever that says, believe me, there we go. I still can't manage to shake off the naive excitement. I've been gaming for a long time, since the late 80s, if I'm counting right. So the prospect of a legitimate Atari revival has set my imagination on fire. I know that there's not even close to the same companies that released the 2600 and the Jaguar, and then it says in parentheses, or the criminally underappreciated Lynx handheld, unquote, or excuse me, unparenthesized. But I feel that the potential for something compellingly lay not only within the recent hardware announcement, but also amongst the remnants of echoes of the Atari's yesteryear 8-bit greatness. Before the infamous video game market crash of 1983, they are all but owned in the digital entertainment sector. Who's to say that they can't stage a screaming comeback? Let me get my drink on real quick, because this ordeal has been making me fucking stress the hell out of fucking. Oh man, I've been all over the place with my words, a lot more than I normally am. The nervousness after this company going bankrupt again, because the last time they went bankrupt, I think it was 2013, like 4 years ago, very, very recently. But they said this project's been in the use for the works for several years already, so let's keep it moving. This deck is without a doubt stacked against with such an improper marketing breach, because it all stands out that Sony and Microsoft is in a constant and incredibly expensive battle for console marketing dominance. And while Nintendo occupies some of the strange PC-rated corner of said market, one filled with jovial plumbers, wacky hardware innovation, and awful online implementations, they absolutely dominate the space consistently with first-party titles and an insane degree of customer loyalty. While parting out for the market shares, precious space for an additional dedicated gaming hardware system, and shrinks to almost nothing, against nothing, I don't know. And for the most part, it's been this way since Sega bowed out of the race back in 2001, which is legendary infamous Dreamcast. So beyond mobile devices and PCs, we have three major options for gaming platforms. But what if people want more? What if there's an eager way to try something different but lack the opportunity to jump ship? I remember Sega Dreamcast because I was actually alive for that. I was like 11, 12 years old at the time. So that one I remember a lot more clearly. I wish it was a Dreamcast too. Unfortunately, that's probably never going to happen. Believe it or not, there was a time in gaming history where we did have more options, way more in fact. Back in the 1990s, all over the span of roughly 10 years, the gaming market saw an introduction of a completely crazy amount of original, completely unique home consoles. Some were a little tad bit bizarre. There we go. They're weird. Others ludicrously bizarre. Many were quirky experiments that only lasted several months before they disappeared forever. Huge mainstream successes like the SNES and N64 were simply the machines that bubbled to the top. For every PlayStation sold, there was an Apple Pippin left for forlornery. I've never heard about that word ever in my life, so I apologize if I mispronounce that word. Forlornly rot onto a lonely Circuit City shelf, ignored and forgotten by the gaming masses. And this is the last part I'm going to read, and you guys can see it. This was really interesting. I had no idea this was even into existence. So it says, there was a Panasonic 3DO interactive multiplayer which introduced Gex the Gecko. I actually played that one way before, a year after I got introduced to Crash Bandicoot, which is pretty fucking crazy. 3DO Interactive, which was introducing Gex, an insane MSRP to the world. Sega released a Sega CD and a 32X, the bulky combination of which was made for quite the conversation piece, and a heavy means by which you could defend your house from lions and swooping pterodactyls. Real funny shit in the parentheses. And oh god, the Virtual Boy, which didn't even last for a full year before Nintendo pulled the plug. I only remember that very vaguely. I only remember that the Virtual Boy console for 1 year, back when I was about 5, 6 years old. I barely remember it at all. It's a very big blur to me. But I remember using it once, and that was it. Now let's see, what else? Where do I start? Where did I leave off? God fucking damn it. Alright, there we go. Still, that's just the tip of the iceberg, hardware iceberg. CD1, Amiga, CD32, Saturn, and Neo Geo CD. I remember Neo Geo Pocket, but not CD. Are all amongst the onslaught of consoles that ran out of gamloot from the world changing to painfully obscures. The failure rate was high, though. Through all the pricey risks, gamers have also many choices. Sure, many of them weren't the best and absolutely didn't pan out in the long term, but we weren't strictly relegated to 2 or 3 more sources for our own gaming needs. There were also powers in the pool of options. And if we were wanted to game on a Pioneer laser active, which we could, though we might cry about it, and before, during, and after. And the thing goes on and on. This article's long as fuck, so overall thoughts, views, and opinions, and it's already pitch black. You guys probably can't even see me anymore, but I will say this. This is a very fucking huge monumental point in gaming history, which I don't even know what the fucking Atari can do. Granted, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Shout out to Proto Mario, but I gotta disagree with them on saying like, oh, they cannot succeed or whatever. Even though he's a really, really good buddy of mine, even though he has about past 510,000 plus subscribers, I gotta disagree with him on a couple of things. I will admit I have a huge ton of faith, a shit ton of faith in this thing will succeed. I'm praying that the Atari actually does very well in this newer mainstream media and modern day version of gaming nowadays, because a lot of millennials are not going to even know what the fuck Atari even is. They're probably not even going to know what the hell the name is, unless you're about 38 to 40 plus years old, which I'm not even in my 30s yet. I'm about 28 right now. And I was really, really lucky and blessed enough to have one of my older uncles own one of the Ataris, for having me play 2 different games on it, which was extremely rare back in the days. Plus, I came from like a poor family at that time, so I could not afford any type of like video gaming console at that time. Sadly, until I was like about middle school, high school, I was able to afford more shit at that time. Others gaming consoles I were pretty much unfortunately hand-me-downs. Other than that, overall thoughts, views, and opinions. I gotta make this shit really fast because it's already getting pitch black already. Best of luck to the CEO, Fred Cyphrius, or Frederick's Chances, whatever his name is, his last name is. I apologize. I'm not mocking the name. I'm not bickering him or bullshitting or shitting under his like reputation or anything like that. But I really hope the thing goes extremely successfully well. I don't know what main series games it would have besides Centipede and what was the other one? Defenders, Alien Invaders, and a couple other ones I remember, like the infamous E.T. one that failed really, really miserably, which unfortunately I have never got to play that game, but because there was that big giant rumor that ended up being like concrete, we had like concrete evidence and confirmation that 1,000 of them were like dug into New Mexico, or like either there or Arizona somewhere. It sucks that it wasn't like over here in Vegas. That would have been cool as fuck. And it would be conveniently, ironically enough, next to fucking Area 51 if that was the case, man. Because I'm only like 6-8 hours away from that place, and I never want to go around there ever because I don't feel like getting a bullet sniped in my head. Fuck that shit. Whew. Alright, that's all I got to say for now. Atari, best of luck to you, Mr. CEO, and any of the indie developers are going to be working under their umbrella corporation. Hopefully they do very, very well, not making no Resident Evil references there. That would be cool as fuck if I saw like Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon or any like future anime series like on the Atari. I would definitely put my money down on that bitch. And hope to God it doesn't fail really, really badly like what they did with the Steam PC machine. And that's it. Links in the description box down below, card title on the side. If any people want to see this, read the article and see the video on your own time. It's only like 22 seconds long. And I'm done here. Wrapping the video the fuck up. Peace out once again, bros, women, bronies, and packet sisters. Otakus and Nikki Komodis out there. I will see you when I see you guys. A good day, have a good night, wherever you are at around the world. Don't drink, smoke weed at the same time. Don't do anything reckless. Keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it chill, keep it collective out there. Until then, next time, guys. Peace out, ladies, and goodbye. Stay tuned, more videos coming soon. Brand new videos on this channel almost every single day. Stay in the grind, stay easy, stay safe, stay healthy, be easy, be to yourself. Peace out. I'm out like sauerkraut. I'm gone and getting the hell out of here. Stay tuned, more future content on the channel. Stay tuned, more updates. And of course, as always, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe and stay tuned, more future commentary, content, and vlogs on this channel, such as Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, PC gaming news, and of course on this side of the room, my article session reviews on video gaming and anime, otaku related news for gaming, reading journalistic views on this side, of course. And on that side of the room, my overhyped reaction review segments or anything that's MLP, Pokemon, fan animation related for hype review segments. And of course, as always, my Marvel DC action comedy movie trailers, video game trailers, anime otaku related trailers, and of course video responses or rants, my regular reaction review segments over there. And I'm done here. See you guys next time. Take it easy and get hyped as fuck. And for all my younger tiny little like millennial teenager fans out there, just Google the crap out of it and you'll know what I'm talking about. See you soon, and I'm out.